What you're saying, so that even Anthony Joshua won't fight, presumably Wilder, till next February. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know what's going to happen with that. I mean, all I know is he didn't want to fight Tyson for the title. That's all I know. But anyway, look, where he gets on with what he does is his business.
But do you respect the fact he's taking the Dillian Whyte fight?
No, not really. What else is he going to do? I mean, he either does that or retire. I mean, what I would have respected if rather than fighting Dillian, who I like Dillian, by the way, he's a nice bloke. What I would have respected more is if he had the ambition to fight for the WBC title, which obviously he didn't have.
We still need to see, Spencer and I were talking in the first segment tonight, and obviously we're observers on the sport and we have strong opinions about it and we work alongside you, and sometimes we don't always agree with you, but we've had 5...
Gareth, stop it. When was that? When have you not sucked Frank Warren and Tyson Fury? Listen, I'm not a hater. Just let me know. Show me where not. About I don't always agree. You stay, never mind agree, you stay sucking. That's what you stay doing. Yeah? Oh, I don't always agree, but I suck you off all the time. That's what your mother said.
Need to see, Spencer and I were talking in the first segment tonight, and obviously we're observers on the sport and we have strong opinions about it and we work alongside you, and sometimes we don't always agree with you, but we've had 5 massive heavyweight fights in the last, I would say, 5 years, and 3 are with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. 2 are Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk. But we need to see all the other twain meet, and I completely agree with you. Joshua needs to fight Fury. Wilder needs to fight Usyk. Wilder needs to fight Joshua. Fury needs to fight Joshua. If I've confused them all there, basically there are humongous fights there, Frank.
Yeah, you have confused them all there, mate. Because the main one you missed, the only one that's relevant right now or has been relevant at all, is Fury versus Usyk, and you didn't mention that. But even if you did, you'd have still been giving it all the passionate angles, yeah, giving it that honeymoon toppy, 100%. He don't listen. When it comes to Frank Warren and Tyson Fury, Gareth A. Davies don't know anything about them 20-year marriage ones. He knows about them, that birthday suit one, yeah, 100%. He'd be getting that Trey Songz birthday, but 100%. That's what Gareth A. be giving out, that birthday Trey one. Yeah, then listen, you best believe, yeah, when Gareth A. Davies goes round to Tyson Fury's pad and Frank Warren's, the neighbours be knowing. The neighbours. The neighbours be knowing the name 100%. Like Trey weren't lying, yeah? The neighbours know. I can't sing for a lick, but the neighbours know my name. That's the way Gareth A. Davies be slop topping, yeah? 100%. No doubt. Why be? Tyson Fury lives in a big mansion and there's 100 metres between him and his neighbour. Oops. That's how much the brains, 100%. Gareth A. Davies be supplying. The kind of, you man can't appreciate, yeah? The kind of brains that Gareth A. be supplying. It don't matter where. You could be in Texas on a ranch and they'd be hearing the name. Tyson Fury would be squealing like a little girl because of the suction. I've heard from sources close to the situation that Dyson Hoover Technologies are trying to get the life rights to Gareth A. Davies. Yeah, so they can understand quantum suction. That's just what it is. Oh, why be you made it up? Oops, 100% sourced. Yeah, Dyson Hoovers need the technology that Gareth A. Davies has coded into him. Yeah, his propensity to stay, yeah, is unmatched. Tell a lie. The only time I've seen suction like Gareth A. Davies is from Teletubbies. Years ago, there was a TV show called Teletubbies, and this Hoover would go around just sucking everything up, and that's Gareth A. Davies. Yeah, he's got the Teletubby vacuum gene. There's no doubt about that one. And Dyson, they want it bad. Anyway, let's get back to this goofball, because he 100% goofy with it. There's no doubt about that one.
Be made in the next 2 or 3 years that almost have to be made in this era. Fury needs to fight Joshua. If I've confused them all there, basically there are humongous fights there, Frank, that can be made in the next 2 or 3 years that almost...
Wait a minute. Why are we talking? That's what I'm frustrated with, Gareth. Yeah? I'm frustrated because these humongous fights need to be made in the next 2 or 3 years. What? It's been a year. Did you get that? Yeah? It's been a year. Now, in fact, it'll be over a year. Frank Warren just admitted, yeah, the Saudis ain't going to be doing none until February. Which means if Tyson Fury is to be involved, it's probably looking like September next year. Do you understand that, people? Think about it. If the Saudis want February next year, come on. Yeah, the Saudis wanted December last year. And when did it end up being? A bit of March, a bit of never. Never. That's what it ended up being. So you can forget about February. And again, people, it was supposed to be December last year. And the crazy thing is, at the time, I predicted, and it was a bit tongue-in-cheek, but I said, listen, Fury versus Usyk, it's supposed to be in December. You'd be lucky if you get it December 23. It turns out, forget about December 23. In fact, forget about Q1 2024. What? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? The Saudis have had to reschedule the December 22 date, which Usyk signed. The Saudis have had to reschedule the December 23 date, which Usyk signed. Yeah? And Gareth sitting there saying in the next 2 or 3 years, we've just wasted 18 months. How much more obvious does it have to get? Because wait a minute, Usyk's fighting Wilder. Wait there. Usyk, the 200-pound man, is fighting Dubois, and then going to go into a fight with, I guess, it could be Wilder. I don't know. You know what I mean? Them ones. Or sorry, tell a lie. Usyk going to go in there with 200-pound Usyk going to go in there with Dubois, then Hrgovic, then the winner of Zhang and Joyce. That's just what's evident here. Yeah, if Usyk was about the money, he made money with AJ. He could sit down somewhere and say, you know what, I'm done. So the fact Usyk's fighting Dubois tells me he ain't giving the belts up. Now would be if you've had enough of the sport yet. Now is the time to give the belts up. Why fight Dubois for relatively small money? Why fight Hrgovic? Why fight Zhang or Joyce? Why take all them fights? You'd stop now. Oops. Yeah. Because you really with the shits. That's why. So don't tell me it was Usyk when he's about to go on a run of fighting top contenders. It's impossible to be Usyk. One guy is fighting top contenders back to back. Another guy is about to put on a clown show. In fact, he's already put on a clown show. He put on a clown show with Chisora. He's about to put a clown show on with a UFC fighter. And you're sitting there saying, oh, these fights need to happen. Yeah? When are you going to get Tyson Fury's girth out of your chops, Gareth? That's what we need to know. Never mind nothing else. Never mind Talksport. Listen, put Talksport down. The people need to know, when will you get... Look at him, look at this guy. Look at this clown. Look at this clown here. Look at this clown. Unbelievable. Like, how do these guys get on TV? It's like, where they find them at? I tell you how they get on TV. I talked about it the other day. Yeah. It's not a big myth. Yeah. I can't say it because the last time my video got on a madness. I'll spell it out. WEINSTEIN. Yeah? It's one of them ones. Oops. That's how he got on. It makes sense now. How'd they get this corny, long-haired, having-ass dude onto Talksport? Oh, it's one of them ones. It's one of them, you got to go round to Harvey's place. You got to go round to Harvey's pad. Yeah? One of them ones to read the script. Yeah, you know them ones there? Oh yeah, come round and read the script with me. 100% you'll be doing that. To get on, that's what it is. Because there ain't nothing else. Yeah, he ain't be doing nothing else. His analysis ain't no good. The only thing Gareth A. Davies is good at doing is providing Trey Songz level, the neighbours be knowing their name level, brain. Yeah, he give mad brain. Top brain. Giving 100%. Anyway, let's listen to the rest of this. Because this is... You can't make this, people. Do you understand that? Yeah, in a century from now, people will look back on this and think, wow. You know what I'm saying? This is historic. Like I said. Yeah. Gareth A. Davis is going to go in history books for his contribution to science. Quantum suction. Yeah. So, again, 100 years from now, this will be relevant. They'll say, wow, this is where quantum suction originated with Gareth A. Davis. Yeah. He was the pioneer of it. It wasn't even on the radar until Gareth A. Davis came along. So, listen, Gareth, I respect your contribution to science, but outside of that, yeah, you ain't talking boxing. You're talking everything but, and it's corny. Anyway, let's get back to this joke show.
next 2 or 3 years that almost have to be made in this era?
Look, you know, to be honest, from a British fan's point of view, you know, Tyson fighting Joshua Usyk was probably top of the list. But neither of them, despite what they say, neither of them wanted to do it. They made the offers were made to them. And everybody keeps saying about Tyson, or it's nonsense about Tyson being greedy with Usyk. That's just a nonsense. He would have made a big payday with Usyk, and now he's going to be sitting on the sidelines.
Did you hear that, people? Fury wanted it all, and Usyk didn't want it, and Zhang didn't want it, and Andy Ruiz. You not see a common denominator here? Maybe it's just me. Maybe one of them ones. Yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe it's one of them ones, and I'm bugging. Yeah? Yeah, Zhang didn't want it, and this guy didn't want it, and wait a minute, Zhang's fighting Joyce, it isn't an easy fight. Usyk fighting Dubois isn't an easy fight. AJ fighting Dillian White. Come on. It's not an easy, isn't, yeah. But you get the point here. They're all, whatever you say about anything, they're all top contenders. In fact, Fury's about to go on a run of a top 50 guy, Chisora, and another unranked top million guy, Ngannou. And you want us to believe it's everyone else. Oh, AJ didn't want it, but he's about to go in and take risk against Dillian White. AJ got offered the fight 2 months ago, and Eddie Hearn said, we ain't dropping our plans for this clown. Yeah? Bear in mind, September last year, they dropped their plans and messed around. And then Fury fought Chisora. Everyone, it's always everyone else. And I understand Frank. Frank's in a difficult position. Before Tyson Fury, Frank was falling off. Yeah? Tyson Fury was the lifeboat that saved Frank, but how much more money does Frank need? At what point do you say, you know what, man? It's time to make right with my maker. Yeah? Do you understand? But this guy just going out all the way sad, bottom line. He riding it till the wheels fall off. Tommy Fury's left Frank. And Frank going to stay riding this horse, no doubt about that one.
Usyk, especially when Daniel beats him, but he's getting, gets a purse which is with far less money than he would have got to fight Tyson, but that's his choice. As for AJ, as I just said, he didn't.
Usyk got a purse much less to fight Tyson to fight Dubois, which is his choice. Well, wait a minute, Frank. This is logical here. Why would Usyk fight a contender, a big burly bodybuilding bull, for what it's worth, for 10% of the money that he could have got to fight Fury? I wonder why. Because Fury bottled it. Yeah, that's the only... There's no other solution, people. Usyk accepted 30%. That's where... You know what? Forget about everything else. That's where this starts and ends. Forget about everything else. He took 30%. And Talksport are on here. Trey songing out. About, well, Simon Jordan was saying, oh, well, Usyk should forget about the rematch too. Huh? Oh, what's that, Simon Jordan? Yeah, just because... Listen, Simon. Just because you go sneaky linking with the executives to get put onto Talksport, don't mean Usyk wants to take 30%, take the rematch clause out, and grab his ankles. That's the problem with the institutional Talksport guys, I believe. They're so used to getting put on a certain way. Do you know them ones there? Yeah, come round to the pad. Them ones, 100%. They're so used to getting put on that way, they think that everyone should do that. Yeah, oh, well, wait there a minute. I had to suck this guy off to get put on, so Usyk should grab his ankles for Tyson Fury too. You know what I mean? So I can't even knock it in that sense. Yeah, if you're doing a madness to get put on, then I can see the logic where you expect others to be falling into line. Yeah, look what I had to do to get to this position. Bunch of ankle grabbers, simple as that. And to be fair, that is the world we find ourselves in. Yeah, it's like all the Andrew Tate guys. Loads of people have made clout off of Andrew Tate. Yeah, just riding the wave. You know what I'm saying? That's the way you get on these days. You ride the wave. Whatever's hot, you ride the wave and become a sideman. Call me a liar. You know what I mean? That's the play right now. Wait there a minute. If I just start jumping, it's not even a bandwagon. A bandwagon is a kind of a communal situation. These guys ain't bandwagoning anything. These guys are literally reverse cowgirling whatever narrative they need to get on. Yeah, this ain't no. Listen, a bandwagon was a communal thing where I assume so. A bunch of hippies get on there and they got their. But this ain't one of them ones. This is raw. This is raw, bareback, reverse cowgirl. They're proper differently riding it. Them ones, all the way, and they're men as well, by the way. Ain't no women doing this one. Bunch of dudes, which is sad.
Want the fight, and the excuse that was putting out was Eddie Hearn saying that that Tyson wasn't serious, which again was pathetic and ridiculous. But anyway, look, that's all happened. They got to do what they got to do, and we move forward with our situation. And our guys are all busy. We're keeping them busy. They want to be busy, and they're ambitious fighters, and they're fighting at the best. And with Daniel, he's fighting for the title.
Our fighters are fighting the best. Forget about Daniel, because Daniel's got to do what he's got to do, kind of thing. Like, obviously, Daniel's fighting the best because he's in the position to do that. Daniel's fighting the best because he ain't got nothing to lose. Do you know what I mean? Let's call a spade here. Dubois ain't going to get free belt opportunity anytime soon, otherwise. You know what I mean? Like, let's not make out that Dubois got a whole bunch of mega fight options. I could fight for a belt here, or I could cash out here. This is all he's got, to be fair. Especially after the last performance, we don't know if Usyk might knock him out. Listen, I've seen it all these days, so I won't be surprised if Usyk clocks Dubois and his other knee pops out. Yeah, the narrative's been set now. He's got a moody knee, and you know what I mean. Usyk ain't the biggest puncher, but neither. Wait a minute, you think Lorena was? Lorena is also a cruiserweight. I never heard of the guy. He clocked him on the side of his head, and his knee popped out like Dillian White. One of them. To be fair, I did warn you guys. I told you that the Anunnaki aliens who coded these big buff individuals, they had to put a failsafe in. Yeah, and that's what this part is of the head. If you're big and buff, yeah, and 6'5", more time, you get clocked here. It's like a toy. Remember them toys where you buy a toy and you push something here and something happens. You push something here and something happens there. That's what it is, 100%. You clock these big buff Donnies here, yeah, and it's one of them. Knee pops, ankle pops, Dillian White. You know what I mean? AJ, you be doing a dance, so that's just what it is. Yeah, and listen, there's an old saying, no one was made perfect. Yeah, these big buff burly guys, man. Oops. Can't take a lick. Take a lick and they're, you know what I mean, one of them ones.
Doesn't get any bigger than that as far as he's concerned. You've got Joe Joyce in there looking to get back his interim title, which makes him the mandatory challenger to the winner of Usyk and Daniel. So you can't knock his ambition. He didn't walk away from Zhang.
Who's knocking anything to do with Joe? This is what I mean. It's the deflection. Yeah, and what I get frustrated with, Simon Jordan, all the other reporters too, even Coogan, for what it's worth. When Eddie Hearn's slipping up, no one's perfect. Eddie Hearn slips up. I've been covering it. I've covered it when it's relevant. When Eddie Hearn slips up, Simon Jordan jumping in. Eddie, we don't want to hear about that. Even with Chris Eubank Jr. Senior. Simon Jordan jumping in. No, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. We want to hear this. Yeah. Frank Warren gets on there talking a whole bunch of waffle about my stable are taking real fights. Look at Dubois. Look at Joyce. Who talking about them? Frank, we've got eyes. We can see what Dubois are doing. We can see what Joe Joyce is doing. No one talking about them. Equally, them same eyes that can see what Joe Joyce and Dubois are doing can see what Tyson Fury is doing and not doing. Yeah? That's all people want to hear about. Why is Tyson Fury fighting Chisora and then fighting a UFC fighter? Yeah? Because at this point, it's obvious it's a UFC fighter because... Or it's a bum. Because everyone else busy. AJ busy. Dillian White busy. Zhang busy. Joyce busy. He's not going to fight Wilder again, please God. Do me a favour. What kind of one of them ones? You know what I mean? He's not going to fight Wilder again. He's knocked off the Ruiz fight. So, literally everyone, and this is what I warned about this years ago and months ago and weeks ago. Fury does this. He call out everyone, lay low for a few months. Oh, they're all busy, they all duck me, they didn't want it. Fight a bum. That's the playbook. It's not a bad playbook if you're low IQ. And listen, the low IQ masses lap it up. I saw some goofball Boxing Kingdom on Twitter saying, yeah, Usyk's only getting paid $6 million for the Dubois fight, so this proves that he ducked the Tyson Fury fight. Again, no doubt Boxing Kingdom. He trying to suckle off that Tyson Fury jab end. Simple. It's another one of them ones. I'm sorry, but have I got things wrong in the past? Yeah. When I'm wrong, yeah, I'll come out and own it. You don't understand that? I was even, a year ago, I was saying, listen, man, if Fury signs this fight and I'm wrong, I'll own it. I'll come on here and say I was wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. You never hear any of these go to the hotel looking asses, yeah, to get put on. You never see any of these pull up. You never see any of these go to the hotel to get put on looking asses. Say I was wrong. Say, you know what? You just don't see it. Because they're never wrong. Because they suck off. Whoever jumping on there, they suck off. Which I find, I can't work it out, because that's why, in a way, Eddie Hearn, and I've said this, Eddie Hearn's the best promoter around. Not necessarily because of the business he does, but because he's actually a pretty fair dude, if that makes sense. The reason they can't, look at Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury got on there with True Geordie for the first half real interview in his life. You think Tyson Fury going to be going on there again with him? And that's what I'm getting at. Life is about relationships, but as a man in particular, or as anyone who has principles, yeah, there's got to be a balance between relationships and dignity. Yeah, how much lying am I prepared to do? How much deceiving am I prepared to do to keep hopping on Talksport and talking to Frank and talking to Tyson? There's got to be you got to draw the line somewhere and say this ain't worth my dignity. But listen, there's a whole bunch of grown-ass men, 50-year-old. Again, the argument is, well, YB, you're in the basement, so yeah. So I get it. There's nothing's ideal here, is there? Yeah, there ain't an ideal outcome here. But listen.
And then obviously Tyson's that, as I was saying, we'll be announcing next week who he's fighting. So we're very, very much on point in moving our guys. We're not been sitting around waiting for something to happen and having their destiny being controlled by somebody.
Anyway, I've had enough, man. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and leg off the button 100%. Know that.